with multiple set of data without using a file. Without using a file. File in the sense, you should not use Notepad, we should not use Excel without file. Your answer is, we can take help of what annotation in TestNG called data provider. See that data provider. Data provider is nothing but annotation in TestNG where it can supply your test data to your test method. It will supply your test data to your test method. So whatever data you are planning to send to your test method means annotation of the data of test method, you have to store the data in data provider, whichever data you want supplied to your test method. Okay, how it is possible? Yes, for example, let me create one TestNG class. How to create TestNG class? All of you know that, I think, right? Right click on your package, go to TestNG, create TestNG class. So here I am choosing my source folder as your project name SRC compulsory. Okay, na? That all of you know that. Don't choose only project name. You have to choose your project name plus SRC. Package name, you can select some package name October 27. There's an internet issue from its side, I think. Your test case created with the data provider, right? So this is a class name, and this is test method, and this is data provider. So that by default, look at here. By default, data provider maintains object as return type. Object, you know what is object? We discussed very clearly in Java class, right? Object return type. By default, it will maintain object return type. You know what is object class? Where we can store different type of data types. And here, your data provider method name, this is method name, public data type. Data type is what? Object, and method name is DP. So I can say to my own method, I can say supply data. I'm changing to my own method name here. So your data provider name and your test method to which you are sending the data and to that method name should be same, because we want to supply data from this data provider to this test method. Okay, and here by default F is method name, you know very well. So I'm giving my own method name is verify login. So to this login functionality, I want to access data from where? From this data provider. So here we have to define two arguments that we know how many arguments to get for login: string username, comma, string password. These two arguments we required for sending data to your From where you are going to access this argument values means from this data provider. Here, take away this. This is given by test engine. Remove this. We can write our own. You know, all of you how to store login data in 2-dimension, right? Rows and columns. So I can write object. My array variable. I'm saying my array variable as login. 2 square bracket, 1 for row, 1 for column is equal to new object. And here I'm planning to store 3 rows. I'm planning to store 2 columns. Column size will be common. Column size will not change. Or we can store in flower braces also. It's up to you. Okay. Now store your data to that login. What is the array variable here? Login. Login of 0. First row, first column. 0 of 0 is equal to. Yes, you can define your username. My username is admin. Next, password. Login of first row, second column. Means 0 of 1. Yes or no? 0 of 1 is equal to your password. You can check with, see, not Excel file. That's a good advantage. See, without using Excel file, no looping required here. Okay? Like that. Next, you want store one more iteration here. One more iteration. 3 rows you define means 3 times you have to iterate, right? So I'm sending invalid username. Here I'm sending invalid username. Again, I'm sending valid password, valid username. You can check with positive, negative according to your business. And all of you know that whenever we write return type method, basically, whenever you write return type method, there should be return statement. So for what we should return here? Return for login, because login is holding your data or not. Yes or no? So this data, what we are doing now, we are supplying this data to where? We are supplying this data to this test method of verify login. Now record the code for that. Driver dot find element. First declare WebDriver object globally. WebDriver object is driver. Okay, na? Yes. Driver dot find element. So with what you want to identify, by dot name locator, name value dot send keys, and send that argument. What that argument? Username, password, and then you want to click on login button. This is for argument is password. That means from where these arguments are getting data, we're getting data from its data supply data method. Okay, supplying data to this test method. Okay, na? And then click on login. Okay, now any validation you want to wait for a few seconds, it's up to you. Thread dot sleep for about 5,000 milliseconds. Okay, and then all of you know how to validate. If driver dot get current URL dot contains, if it is containing, what is that? Dash, dashboard or dash, then what do you say here? Reporter dot log, you can say login success, else comma, say here comma true. Okay, comma true. Okay, now add your super class for this to handle that exception throws, throwable.
Else login fail.
Else
login fail.
Yes. Throw. We need to add to your test method. Throws, throwable. else login failed. You can store how much data you want. What we are doing in Excel, we are taking them columns. Kada? We are taking them columns, we are storing. So without Excel file, without looping, look at that. Without Excel, no file is taken. Yes, of course, you can also utilize these methods. Utilize Excel methods for if you want to check with login multiple data using Excel. In that case, you should not store data like this. You store data in Excel sheet and you know how to call that methods. Call that methods, and from that, this you have to supply data to your test method. So only this code will change my Excel methods. Okay, we have to access Excel methods to this data provide because we need to supply data from where? From data provide to your test method. Okay, na? That's up to you. You can check with the multiple data using Excel, without Excel also.
Sir, under data provider, we have to write it as 1011.
Numbers will change. Excel you'll take. If you take columns, we have to say 0. Yes, you have to -1. That also. Data provider name is equal to for password. Name is equal to txt password. Next, for login button, name is equal to submit. Okay, na? So this data we need to provide, and we need to supply your URL to it. So here, before conditions, we have before setup. We can say setup. We can change our methods. All of test engine allows to change. Okay. So driver is equal to new Chrome driver. So launching browser is enough here. Where to launch URL every time you want to iterate in the looping state. I mean, without looping. Here you want to write launch URL or here where you want launch URL. Let me check. Driver dot get method. Specify your URL. Because every time for every iteration it should go on, right? So driver dot.
Sir, ఇక్కడ మనం సెకండ్ రోకి 10 అని రాయాలి కదా సార్, లాగిన్ సెకండ్ రో ఫర్ ద యూజర్ నేమ్ అండ్ ద పాస్వర్డ్ 00 ఫస్ట్ రో 01 సెకండ్ రోకి 1011 1011
you have to change the column row number mark.
Row number.
Row
Yeah.
number will change. 1 here it's 1 1 1 2
20
0
21
2 0 and
21
2 1. Yeah, I copied it, right? Okay. Tear it down. Tear it down. Finally, what you have to do, you want to close your browser. Driver dot close. Okay. Let me check it out. So that's how we can check. Suppose if you want to check with the Excel and code, suppose if you want to check with Excel sheet, that possibilities are there. We can check with Excel also based on your business requirement. Well, first let me check this. Okay, na? Let me run this via this. Right click to mouse. Sorry, and we have to maintain drivers. Kada? It is stored under project. Copy paste to under your project. You can maintain, but you have to maintain system.set property. Okay, na? Otherwise, we can store it under your project. Let me see whether it is able to access data from the data provider or not. So that means from where it's accessing this data, ma? This data is accessing from your data provider. Data provider. One iteration done. Go for second iteration again. That's what. So what we should do is we need to write launching URL, because precondition launching URL is launch only one time. But in the test case, we have to keep on launching URL for number of iterations, right? So write it login launching URL under your test method only. Now it will go with perform 3 iterations because we have taken 3 times there. One done. Again, login. Go back to your URL. Now second iteration we gave wrong URL, wrong password. But instead of Excel file, instead of using file, we are taking help of this data provider to check with multiple data. That is the purpose of data provider. Okay, na? It's one of the annotation in TestNG. Look at, we can check your reports also very clearly. It shows very clearly. Look at here. First iteration, you have taken this data. Second iteration, you have taken this data. Third iteration, you have taken with this data. Go and check your test output folder. Right click to mouse. Refresh it here. Open your test output folder. Emailable report. Right click to mouse. Open with web browser. So that each and every parameter shows what are the parameters you passed for first iteration, third iteration, second iteration, whatever. That is what data provider meaning. If you want to access data from Excel means same again. But we have to store data in Excel sheet and we have to use that methods, Excel methods. Where to use that Excel methods? In data provider. Instead of this, we have to take away this coding and we have to use Excel methods here. Will you try that, all of you? Store data in Excel. Take 2 columns, username and password. Access data here. Okay, na? Access your data here and check that are you able to access data from Excel by storing data in Excel. Will you do it, all of you?
Sir.
Huh?
Yes, sir, we'll try to do.
Try to do. Okay, so that is the one purpose, data provider. If anyone asking you, suppose say for example, I want to execute this test case. I want to execute this test case, same test case. POM pampichanama, I forwarded POM file ma. Yes or no? No. POM ma, POM I forwarded on Saturday. Please check your emails. POM concept I forwarded. Jayasri, Priyanka, I sent you ma. Check your emails. Saturday, on Saturday class I forwarded. Saturday, last Saturday. Jayasri, did you receive that? She's not available. Can you hear me, all of you? Priyanka?
Yes, sir. I can hear you, but you haven't sent the POM file, sir.
POM I forwarded last Saturday. Check. All of them received. Not received?
No, sir, not received.
Previously she received. Say, how can you? Jaswal received, right?
Yes, I have received.
Then everyone receives, ma. If one, I just forwarded on Saturday itself. I'll check it again if you haven't. Okay. Saturday class, Saturday evening or morning hours I forwarded, ma. Check that. Okay. Now my question is, I want to check this test case on different browsers parallelly. Right now, on what you're checking right now, you're checking only on Chrome browser, right? No. I want to execute, I want to check the compatibility meaning. I want check on Firefox as well as I want check on Chrome also. Parallel, I want to check this. How you do that? The interview question is, how do we access XML parameter values from XML file to your test case? I repeat my question. How do we access parameter values from XML file to your test method? Okay. So here again we are learning one more annotation in TestNG that is called @parameters. Your answer is we use @parameters. With help of @parameters annotation, you can access XML parameter values. You are going to store your XML parameter value. You are storing the browser value, especially this browser value, in XML file. And to that XML file, we are going to access your test method. How? For that, first of all, yes, I'm creating the same class. I'm going to use the same class, but what I'm doing now, right now we tested on Chrome only. Now I'm going to test on different browsers, Firefox, Chrome, parallelly. Generally, how you're running before class, what you're doing, if you want to change it to Chrome means you're going to change a browser value and executing again. If you want to run a Firefox, again changing value, and I don't want to do that. Parallelly, simultaneously, I want to run it. Once complete Chrome browser, immediately should be executed on Firefox also. In that case, compulsory we have to go with parameters annotation. So for that, we have to create XML file. Okay, na? First, let me create the same class under same package, one more class. Okay, one more class. I'll change that class name to, you can write, you can take another example also, it's up to you. Any example process will be same, no worries. Okay, na? So let me choose October 27. I'll give this cross browser testing. My class name is cross browser testing. No main method, finish of it. So same, instead of disturbing this code, you'll practice on data provider, so that I don't want to disturb this. This one you can practice on XML file. Okay, any framework also we can execute, no problem. Instead of Orange HRM, we'll make it as cross browser. Now I want to execute this test case on different browsers here. That is my intention. Right now we're running one and which browser, ma? Chrome.
browser.
If you want to run Firefox, what we're doing, we are changing the class name. Again, you're running. That's not right way. Parallelly, it should go on executing. For that, all of you, what you do? All of you know how to create XML file, right? So right click on your project, new file, and give that file name as cross bw.xml. Finish off it. And I told you a number of times, first two lines we can copy. From where we can copy, ma? I think we can copy from your XML available, right? Index.html. We'll find two lines here. Index.html or open default old report in default suite. Index.html. Open this. Two lines, first two lines, versions and all that. We don't know XML for right? These two lines. We can copy these two lines. It's common, okay? Or you can write your own XML. Now, all of you know XML. First, we have to say suit. Suit. Click enter button. Immediately give that name of the folder. Name is equal to, you can give your folder name. With what name you want to generate that folder, give that folder name. I want to generate with my name, Ranga. Next to that is test. Close the tag. Immediately click enter button. So here I want to give my test name, report name. Test name is report HTML report name. So name is equal to. So first I want to get Chrome browser report. Got Chrome test. Separate report I want. Separate report for Chrome. Separate report for Firefox. Chrome test. Okay. Na? Next to that is, now we want to store this parameter values in XML file. So here we are using one more annotation called as parameter. Parameter. Close the tag. Parameter. Okay. Now you define your parameter name. Name is equal to, my parameter name is browser value. Value is equal to, what is that value? Chrome. What is that Chrome? It's a parameter value. Now under this parameters, parameter spelling mistake, amma. Parameter. I think, okay na? Spelling right?
Yes.
I want separate report for Chrome. I want separate report for what do you say? For Firefox. So for that, what do you say? We can say classes. Kada? You should say classes. Kada? Classes. Close tag. Immediately in between, you define your what is that? You have to define what we have defined. Open tag, class, close tag, click enter button. Here itself define the name. What we have defined, all of you know that name is equal to what? That name is equal to package name dot class name. Yes or no? Package name dot class name. What is my package name? My package name is October 27th. First we have to give package name. Package name dot class name. What is that class name here? Cross BRW testing. Cross browser testing. Okay na? Next, one more. Copy from same. Copy from test to test. Enter button. Here, instead of Chrome test, what we can say, ma? Firefox. Yes, Firefox test. And browser value, browser parameter will be same. Only value will change to Firefox. Okay. And same package name, same class name. I want separate report for Chrome test. I want separate report for Firefox. That's the reason I'm separating. So we have to access from where now? From where this test case access this browser values?
XML.
From XML. I'll write in the beginning. Mundu raskunta. Okay na? Don't worry. I'll write in the beginning. No rules like that. But for understanding, I'm writing. Mundunte manaki easy untundi before test. Ee before test ki browser value ekkada techukovalama? From where you should access that browser value?
XML file.
From XML file. So ikkada we have to use one annotation. What is that annotation? @ parameters. Control space bar. This @ parameter is not belonging to anything. It's belonging to test engine. Okay. Choose test engine. And here, this is a parameter which will access this XML parameter value, this values, parameter value, this parameter value you want access here in this test case. So now, in this before test, define an argument, string, BRW. Okay, na? Now, condition. Come on, guys. Condition. If BRW kada, argument is BRW kada now. So this BRW is holding what? This BRW is holding this parameter. So one more thing, we have to define that parameter. What is that parameter there? You define an XML file. What is the name of the parameter?
Name.
Browser.
Browser, exactly. Browser. Remember that this browser, this parameter value, this parameter, and whatever parameter you're defining should match compulsory. Okay. This is a parameter holding value, browser value. This browser value hold into which variable now? BRW. That's what I'm saying. If BRW dot equals ignore case to
Chrome.
If it is matching to Chrome, then
you run Chrome driver.
Same run on access here. So I can say for my understanding system.out.println executing
Chrome driver.
executing on Chrome browser.
Browser.
Okay, na? For my understanding. So this is if condition. If. Okay, na? And else. Next.
Else.
Else.
BRW.
Else if.
BRW dot
One more condition.
BRW
Yes.
dot
equals
BRW dot
ignore
equals ignore
ignore
case to
case to
if it is matching to
Firefox.
Firefox. If it is matching to Firefox, then, so here what say Firefox
Firefox
driver
Executing on Firefox.
executing on
Firefox.
Firefox browser. Okay, na? Firefox browser. Write our own English, no problem. Same test case, no changes remaining as it is, ma. But what is that advantage here we have? We can execute and we can check this test case compatibility. And is it compatible in various browsers or not? So if anyone asking a question, what question they'll ask you? How do we access XML parameter values in your test case? Your answer is we access with help of at the rate of parameter, using at the rate of parameter annotation. But this parameter and XML parameter should match compulsory. Can I execute this, ma? Can I execute this? Let us say I don't know.
Else statement.
You want else statement? Rasama? No problem. Else paraskundava and what that else part? Else system dot out browser value is not matching. Okay, na? Can I execute now? Let's see. Right click to mouse, run as test-ng, test. What's the mistake? Check it out. Oh, parameter browser is required by configuration setup method. These are the parameters values you are planning, right? You want to send that, but parameter. So what's that mistake, ma? What the mistake we did? So remember all of you guys. See, very important thing is here. You should not execute via this class because this class is not holding these values, this parameter value. Where these parameters values are storing, ma? They are storing in XML file. So always we have to run via XML file. Don't confuse all of you. Okay, I repeat again. Don't run this via this class. If you run this via this class cannot execute. Why? Because this class doesn't have values. Kada? Parameter values doesn't contain this class. The parameter values contains an XML file. So what Selenium will do in runtime, it will go to XML file access. So we should execute via XML file. Remember, that's very important. So right click on XML file, run as test-ng, test. It says suit, no problem. First running on which browser, Amma? Chrome. So it's matching to Chrome browser first. First execute on Chrome and we're ensuring the compatibility on Chrome. First, one iteration done. You can take any example for this, no restrictions at all. Again, go for a second iteration and check it out. Next, again, 3 iterations you have taken. First, you should verify on Chrome. Next, you should go on. If it's matching, if that browser value, parameter value matches to that Firefox, then it will go on executing on Firefox. If it is done correctly, check it out. Close the browser. Done. Second, executing on what? Firefox got failure. Why it got failure? Because we haven't mentioned driver, ma. Gcode driver ni copy this, and or else you have to use system.set property. Paste here. Make sure that your drivers are maintained under your project. That's common. Otherwise, you have to give system.set property. It's up to you. You're experts now, I think. Can I execute this class now? Right click to mouse, run as test-ng, test. Okay, na? Can I execute, ma?
You can't execute.
You can't execute
XML
a
file.
we should
Go
execute
from
via
XML file.
exactly. We have to execute it via XML
So you
file.
haven't
So
pasted the Firefox project, sir.
Zico
Firefox
driver, ma.
driver.
Zico driver. I pasted under project. So run as test ng suite. Now it should execute on Firefox. Executing on, that's what see parallel testing means. That's what we mean to say parallel. Parallel means what? Execute one after other on different browsers. That is what we call manually we learn cross browser testing, right? That's called cross browser testing means executing on different browsers parallelly. It's only possible through XML file in X. So whatever parameters, suppose many people asking, sir, what about if I want run an IE browser? Go and define parameter value in XML file for IE, Safari, Chrome, any browser. And if condition, change that else if, keep on writing all that. If you have all the drivers with you, we can check in different browsers also. Now it's executing on which one?
Firefox.
Firefox, right? One we give valid, one we give in. Like that means whatever test case, you can run even your frameworks also via this. If you want to cross browser testing and framework, we did, right? Frameworks, yes. In preconditions, we have defined. So that's what, see, I'm defining in precondition only. Why reason is, in preconditional, we are launching browsers. Yes or no? We're launching browsers in pre. That's what I defined parameters also in precondition, not in test cases, basically. Now, let me check it out. Let me refresh this test output folder. Let me refresh this test output folder. I'll get one folder kada Ranga. Open this Ranga folder. Is that Chrome test? Right click on it. Open with web browser. It's generate report for this Chrome. Show all outputs. It shows all outputs. It took 14 seconds for iteration. Second iteration 7 seconds. Third iteration 9 seconds. Accordingly, next Firefox test.html. Firefox test.html. Open with web browser. Here also it shows. Here also it took 14 seconds. For 7 seconds, 8 seconds, according to executed. It took nearly 67 seconds to execute that test case. Not only here, where you can see reports, always go and check in email report also. Right click on it, open with web browser. We get separate report, perfect report here. This is Chrome test report and this is Firefox report. And for Chrome test, these are the parameters we passed. Yes or no? And Firefox also, this is the parameters we pass even for Firefox also. Perfect report. Index every report. Go and check every report. Index open with web browser. XML. This is what we created XML file to test. We have groups, no groups, time, how much time they took. Okay. Reporter output also. Ignore methods, chronicle view. Every report we get accordingly. So that's how the way we can view all reports using this XML parameters. Okay, na? We can check XML parameter. That's how the way we can access XML parameter values in your test case. Is it clear to all of you guys?
Yes, sir.
And next is we need to go with Cucumber. What is Cucumber? How do you configure Cucumber? Okay, we'll start tomorrow at 6 o'clock as usual time. 6 o'clock, 1.5 hours I need to spend on that. And GitHub I need to discuss after that Cucumber. GitHub and we'll finalize. Okay, na? Okay, complete these two things, all of you. Okay.
Okay.
Right. Tomorrow we'll go with Cucumber. We will see how you work with Cucumber, how you configure Cucumber, how you check with Cucumber. I'll show example how to check with Cucumber also. Okay, na? Okay. See you tomorrow. Bye bye. 6
Yes,
o'clock, ma.
Thank you,
Tomorrow
sir.
class will have at 6 o'clock as usual. So 1.5 hour I won't spend because I need to complete that cucumber also. Okay, na?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Thank you,
Okay,
sir.
see you. Bye bye.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Check that mail, ma. Again, all of you. Palm I forwarded Priyanka. So check చేయండి.
I'll check it out, sir.
I checked in the spam.
రాలేదమ్మా
I did not get. No, sir.
Joshna.
Sir, knowledge, sir.
And how this girl, Shegwal, Pridarshini, they received?
I'm not also received. Not received, sir.
No one received.
No, sir.
I think I forwarded to some other batch, maybe so. Okay, I'll check it. Ma. I'll check today. Huh?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay.